I'm here with Shelley Middlebrook from Right Path Mortgage. Shelley, what makes 326 Highfield an excellent investment?
Yeah, this is a great house. Beautiful finishes, like a great place that's, we'll call a house hack. It's got 2 units, so there's a great basement apartment, which really isn't a basement, it's a lower level, it's a walkout. Beautifully done, very nice finishes, great space. Well, you're the expert on what the rent would be, but I think you can get really good rent for that basement apartment.
Yeah, looking at property like this, you're probably looking at around $2,000 or so for the lower unit. And that would be, the great thing is this property does come with 3 parking spots. So you could separate that out into 1 spot for the basement, 2 for up top, or however, it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I think if somebody's looking to buy a house that's an investment, maybe they can up what they're going to purchase in terms of price, because if they can bring in a rental, and the rental market's great in Toronto right now, prices are going up, and it's reliable. Like, there's a shortage of houses, so you can get a tenant. Obviously, you need to vet them and get good tenants, but you can get great tenants. And if you're willing to, kind of sacrifice a little bit in terms of having a tenant, which I don't think it's a sacrifice. Often you don't use all your space anyway, and you can bring in a great income. So this place, if you decided to live in the basement and you bought it and you rented upstairs, you could probably even get, maybe $3,700 or something like that.
Yep, probably.
And yeah, so that's great. So that's a big help, over $44,000 a year to your income. If you rented out the basement, you got $2,000, that's $24,000 a year that can help your income. Those can also help you with your mortgage in terms of what you're eligible for. So the banks will look at usually 50% of your rental income towards your eligible income for a rental. The rental does need to be a separate unit, and in this location, it's great. You've got 2 really nice separate units, and they would take that as part of your eligible income towards how you would qualify for a mortgage. So for the lower unit, if you did that and you were bringing in $24,000, that would increase probably about $55,000, $60,000 a year to what you could borrow. And for the upper unit, you'd probably be looking at $105,000 additional price that you could afford then for a mortgage. So one, it helps you afford something a little bit higher than you could afford maybe on your own income. But secondly, you have this ongoing income that you're getting. So you're getting $2,400 a month or $3,700 a month to help you pay for mortgage payments. And with interest rates so high right now, that's such a great thing to be able to offset it like that.
Yeah, I think and I think that is to your point. I don't think people really think in terms of if they were going to live in the lower unit or a basement unit and actually rent out the top, which I think is so great, especially in a house like this, because they've completely renovated the basement or the lower unit. And in addition, the walkout goes walking out and there's parking right there. So this, I think, is such a great investment for that particular reason. Yeah,
for sure. And you have on the second floor, or the main floor, and the upper unit, you have a porch, you have a barbecue, you have a nice space. So if the person on the lower unit had the backyard, they have outdoor space. Then you also have storage in the lower unit area. You potentially have a room you could do an office or something. So it's actually, a good size unit that's really well renovated. And you're in a nice neighborhood, and it's a different, like, from some people don't want to live in a condo. They want to live like where they can walk out and in and not have to go up in an elevator with their groceries and that. This, you can just go in and out, and you have a yard and all that, so it's amazing.
Yeah, and to your point again, this area is such a great area. Gerard has so many amazing restaurants now.
It's really up and coming, great.
Yes, very much so, and we are in the Leslieville area, so again, you can walk all over to great shops, amenities, etc.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, I think one other thing just to think of when you're, if you're thinking of doing an investment property, obviously it helps your income. You do have to, potentially claim that income, but you can write off against the cost of your house. So 50%, say you're renting out half the house and you're living in half, you'd be able to write off half of the expenses. So that would be interest on mortgage, that would be electrical, other utilities. That would be any renovations, repairs. So these things, are expensive, and having a house as well. And if you can write off half. Now, on the downside, when you do sell the house, you would have to claim capital gains, but only on 50% because it's still your principal residence plus the rental. So again, it's something to think about, and obviously talk to your accountant about it to know for sure. But it's a great way to get into maybe investing in properties. If you're not an investor and you're thinking about it and like to invest in properties, a great way to start is with a house hack where you're living in it and renting out part. You're there, your tenant, when you're there and living there with them, they're probably going to treat the property better, and it's going to be easier to look after anything because they're right there. And for you too, it's safety. You go away on a trip, you've got someone still at the house and all that kind of thing. So if something goes wrong or whatever, that's always helpful as well.
Amazing. Okay, so that's it. And if you want more information about mortgages, great investment opportunities, you can also contact Shelley Middlebrook at Right Path Mortgage at the information below. And if you want any information on any housing opportunities like this one, please feel free to contact me as well.